So earlier today, I got to catch Ready or Not, and this is something I was looking forward to just purely based on the fact that Samara Weaving, the gorgeous, talented, wonderful Samara Weaving, who has kind of become the darling of the horror community after her performances in The Babysitter and Mayhem, and I even saw that she's in that Picnic and Hanging Rock miniseries from Amazon, which also stars Natalie Dormer. So I have yet to watch that, although I'm not sure I could handle the hotness of both of them in something like that. But I would really like to watch that. I very much enjoy the original Peter Weir film. It's been a very long time since I've seen that movie. But I need to check that out at some point. And she's also going to star in Bill and Ted Face the Music. Yes, the third Bill and Ted movie, which we've all been hearing about for so long, is currently filming. And I see that she is one of the top billed cast members. So holy hell, man. My excitement level is pretty high already. And to find out that the wonderful Samara Weaving was in it elevates that even more. Now, this film is about a young, beautiful lady played by obvious Samara Weaving, and she marries into this rich family. And the family has gotten their wealth by selling games. And so there's a ritual, if you want to be part of the family, that you have to play a game. Not really Jigsaw style, but hey, man, their intent is the same. The outcome, anyway, should I say. Although I guess their intent's not the same. They're not trying to reform this person. Their aim in it is to get rid of her. So, now, this movie is mostly a dark comedy. I mean, I would absolutely label it a horror, for sure, but it would be second, very much second, to dark comedy. It's mostly a dark comedy. Now, I will say that okay, here's the thing with this movie. This is interesting. So even though I avoided almost every bit of the trailers, I did see some of it, but I made assumptions and I had expectations, which I try not to do. That's why I avoid trailers. That's why I like going in blind, because expectations kill fun, kill your enjoyment of a film. So even though I did that, I still had expectations that this was going to be something like You're Next, where it's this female protagonist protecting herself and just kicking ass throughout the movie. And when I did not really receive that in this film, I found myself to be disappointed. But that's not really a genuine complaint, because that was an expectation, not what the film was actually giving me. So I had some issues with it because I didn't like decisions made by characters within the film, and I thought that the plot itself, although laid out pretty well, I had a lot of questions with it. I even talked about those with Tony, that guy I saw with a buddy of mine. After, I was just like, yeah, but why would this happen and this and that? But that said, I feel like the last 5 minutes of this movie, which I absolutely loved, I felt like that whole thing not only overall made the film better because of how strongly it ended, but also because of what happens there and all the ramifications of it, all of the connections of it. I feel like it cleared up the majority of my issues. Not all of them. But having now seen that and knowing that's coming and what's going on and all that, I feel like on a second viewing, I will enjoy this movie considerably more. I know it seems ridiculous to take a film like this and take it seriously anywhere throughout, but even though it's played like a dark comedy, it is played pretty straight. It's not absolutely outlandish in the sense that it's like almost like slapsticky or unbelievably unrealistic. It's unrealistic in the sense that, rich people hunt new members of the family to kill them because they believe that there's some curse on the family. I don't want to give away too much about the movie, but that all being said, Samara Weaving is absolutely amazing in this. It was good to see Andie MacDowell. I haven't seen her a whole lot. Obviously, Groundhog Day being her, probably her big moment. She was a pretty big name for a while, but I feel like Groundhog Day is the thing everyone remembers her from. But I like Andie MacDowell. It's cool to see her here as the mother. The dad in this, I've seen him in a million places, but I will always connect him to the show Revenge with his character Conrad Grayson, right? Yeah, I actually watched Revenge. I watched a few seasons of it. And then that's really the only people I recognized. I feel like the brother, someone maybe I've seen before, and then one of the chicks, one of the girls in this is from Saw 6. She's one of the ones on the carousel that I love that sequence. I think she's the one that lies about being pregnant, if I remember correctly. Anyways, but yeah, overall, I was feeling a little underwhelmed, but then the end was so strong and it really fixed a lot of my issues that honestly, I feel like a second view. I know I'm kind of being repetitive here, but I'm trying to reiterate. I feel like having known that, it fixed a lot of what issues I was having throughout the film. But man, Samara's great. Production value's high. The film looks fantastic. The setting is great. It's a fairly original storyline, albeit being pretty damn ridiculous in concept. And that's, I guess, probably where my struggle most came from was, like, I don't want to talk spoilers too much here, and I feel like this is enough in the trailer and in this that it's not really a spoiler. But I guess my question really throughout was, why the hell would the husband bring her there if he cared about her? They give their reasons in it, and while I get what they're saying, and as I said, the ending pretty much fixes that for me. But throughout, I just kept being like, I don't know, man. Am I supposed to care? Am I supposed to this and that? So, I'll tell you the yeah, no. There's some great gore gags in this, and I'm there for Samara, really. I mean, when it really comes down to it, I was there in attendance to see Samara Weaving in this role, and she delivered 1,000,000,000%. So for that, I'm an absolute satisfied customer, and I can absolutely recommend the shit out of this. I definitely think people should check this out in theaters. I was very surprised. Tony and I both were very surprised. The theater was packed. This was an 11:15 a.m. showing, first showing in the morning, and it was like sold out, essentially. I was blown away. So it was a smaller theater, mind you, but I was very happy to see so many people packed in there for this, lower budget horror movie like this. So hell yeah, we need more R-rated horror to get buzz like this that isn't, just some carbon copy of something from the past. Like, this is a fairly original, unique thing, and it doesn't have from the producers of Saw or James Wan or something attached to it. It's kind of its own creative program. I'm not talking shit about those movies at all. I'm just saying, like, it's cool to see this kind of stand on its own 2 feet and be able to get some attention like it did from what I saw anyways. So let me know if you guys see this movie. I'm really looking forward to it. I always say this at the end because I never know how to end videos, but I genuinely am. I'm hoping that everyone likes it as much as Tony. Tony actually liked it even more than me. He was big fan of it. I really liked it, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing where everyone lands on this one. But Samara Weaving, Jesus Christ, everyone talks about how she's like a doppelganger of Margot Robbie. If I had to pick between the two, Margot Robbie is wonderful, of course, but Samara is just a little more my type. Probably because she does more horror. I don't know. They're both fucking gorgeous. You can't lose. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this movie. Adios.